Podcast, a podcast of the Upward Niagara Chamber of Commerce. I'm Chamber of Commerce President Jennifer Pauley, and we had a great weekend this weekend of perfect fall weather. So we hope that you are able to go out and support the local farmers in the region, specifically our member Baker Farm Market. They are located in Ransomville, and this is the peak apple season right now. So if you are looking for a great place to go and pick a variety of apples, Baker Farm Market should be on your list. They are located just a short drive away from the village of Lewiston, the village of Youngstown, village of Wilson, probably about 25 minutes from Niagara Falls. And they are the top choice for apples, for mums, for local produce as well. We have the local Lewiston Harvest and Hops Festival coming up the end of September, September 28th and 29th. And one of our stops before that festival is Baker Farm Market. We are able to provide some really great vignettes for photo opportunities at the festival. And the straw bales and the mums for that opportunity come from Baker Farm Market. So make that a stop this year. Niagara County is one of the best places for apple picking, and we hope that you choose Baker Farms. Just a little shout out for our member there. Speaking of the Lewiston Harvest and Hops Festival, coming up September 28th and 29th, the Chamber fully produces that festival. It's a Saturday and Sunday festival from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Center Street in the village of Lewiston, featuring about 150 vendors, local artisan vendors, craft vendors, farmers market. We have food and beverage as well. Our presenting sponsor is Brickyard Brewery and Brickyard Barbecue, and wow, they do an amazing job that weekend. They actually make a special brew for that weekend, brew as in beverage that you can drink if you are over 21. And they collaborate with several different other organizations and businesses to create a special one just for that weekend. We enhanced the Harvest Festival about 2017 to increase to the Harvest and Hops Festival. And that enabled us to allow you to grab a special brew on the street, shop for your favorite craft, and expand into offering some great beers, some different craft brews, craft beers, as well as our local wineries and other spirits are offered on the street. So it's a nice way to get out, enjoy a fall day. Again, that's September 28th and 29th in the village of Lewiston for the Harvest and Hops Festival. As we're recording it's less than 2 weeks away. So you know that the start of the fall season is right around the corner. Well, we are carrying on with our podcast. We had the month of August off, and last week we featured actually our host location. So hopefully you caught that episode with Rich. And today we're moving on with featuring our members of the chamber. And today in studio we have Lauren Schulte, who is the owner of Monarch Kitchen Design Studio. And we're so happy to have you here in our studio. Rich gave her a little tour of the location, and since I was here last week, a chandelier was put up in the lobby and everything. So it's great to have our members meet each other and, take a little look at the business behind the scenes every week. So thank you, Lauren, for starting. Just to give us a little background on Lauren. Lauren Schulte is a seasoned kitchen and bath designer with 18 years of experience in the industry. And she's a proud owner of Monarch Kitchen Design Studio. She brings a unique blend of creativity and expertise to every project. With a background in fine arts and psychology, Lauren's passion for design shines through her signature style, which I love this. You lovingly refer to as swamp witch chic. Now, we got to stop there. Tell us a little bit about that little coined phrase. I love it. Swamp witch chic. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Swamp Witch Chic I coined it because I really found myself loving sticks, moss, and very natural, earthy, organic oddities, things that you don't typically see incorporated in what you would call high-end luxury design. So I found myself as an outlier and then named it so that when people like me who like lots of darks, moody kind of aesthetic are able to find me.
Yes, and it's great. I've been to your location in North Tonawanda, and I would say yes. When I stopped in there, I didn't know that was what your theme was, but I was instantly attracted to it because
Yes.
the colors, the warmth, everything about that little tagline really embodies what you do. I love it. It is such a unique perspective to come from as a designer. Tell us how you started in this business and in this industry.
So I started 18 years ago, and I was a designer, believe it or not, at Home Depot. I went to school at Buff State. I would leave class and go work at Home Depot, and a position in the kitchen design industry opened up, and I said, I have a fine arts degree, and HGTV wasn't even invented yet. So there was no platform to kind of build off of, and I said, let me try this and see how it works out. And within a month of it, I absolutely loved it and knew that this is 100% what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And then I sort of outgrew that position and was taken into a local firm and then just kind of grew from there.
So starting a business on your own, having that experience working from somewhere else, and then moving into the transition of starting your own business, what was that leap like?
Terrifying. With any small business owner, I knew how to be a designer and maybe a little bit less how to be a business owner. So the last 5.5 years has really been a learning experience. But overall, when my clients meet me, they know that this is absolutely what I love to do. And if I had $10 million in my bank account, I would actually still be doing this. So it's a whole learning process. I have found myself speaking all over the whole entire country. I have just recently won 2 national design awards. I've been featured in Forbes magazine and Better Homes and Gardens. And it's just been a growing experience and found myself aligning with the right people to get me to this point.
Yes, it's amazing all of the things that you've been able to accomplish and just kind of grow from having that experience somewhere else and then starting your business and getting the name out and having what you do just shine through. Not only are you growing a business, but you've also grown the community around you. So you've served on many boards. You've served as a leader and president with a local association. Tell us a little bit about how community helps also bolster business and how you've grown that and aligned the two.
So to me, community is really important. I'm located in North Tonawanda. I also live in North Tonawanda. And there are some pockets that did need a little bit of help and growth. And I found myself wanting to rally. I'm a small business, and I'm one of only 2 female-owned kitchen design studios in all of Western New York. And so I always sort of rally for the underdog. Mm-hmm. And so I like to be a part of it and build the community and watch things grow. My building is in an area, it's directly across the street from the Carousel Museum, and it's buried in residential, and most people don't know that I'm there. So, I had this building. It was peeling and chipping and painted it. Just had 2 murals painted this summer with some of the funds from the facade grant, and now people know that I'm there, and it's making a big difference. The weeds were overgrown. Now there's a butterfly pollinator garden. I've even sort of expanded on a little bit into the north property lands and started growing some gardens there, and it really makes a difference. When people are walking their dogs down that path, mm-hmm. they'll stop and they'll say, this looks really beautiful. Thank you for what you're doing in the community. And to me, that means a lot because I also live there. So I really want to see things thrive and grow, and I don't know how not to be a creative. So anytime I see anything that's not beautiful, I've already had a plan in my head to make it look beautiful in its own way.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's so important for people to hear that, you live and work in the community that it's all encompassing for you, right? You live there, you go to work there, and so to make things beautiful is natural for you, yeah. But you've really enhanced the area where you are. I actually went past it, past your building last week. It was I actually had to go to another North Tonawanda business, Bleached by Abigail Lee, and I went down River Road, and I had to find my way over there, and I went past your building, and I did notice all the changes from the last time I was there. You weren't open, and I was going to stop in, and I said, I'll have to make sure I tell her when you come on the episode. But what a great thing. Not only are you building your business, but you are building the community up as well. You also have served with your local business association as well. Tell us a little bit about the growth on that too.
So that was a labor of love. I was the president. My term ended in August for the last 4 years of the Oliver Street Merchants Association. And Oliver Street was a place that really needed some love and some help and some growth, and found ourselves trying to figure out how to do this on our own with very little help. and lots of people who would love to sort of hate on the community and the things that it needed. So we made ourselves a 501c3. We've applied for grants. We have a DRI that is coming in. So literally millions of dollars are going to get filtered back into the street, and hopefully more little shops like me open up and make it a really beautiful experience. It sort of reminds me of how Hurdle used to be, maybe 20, 25 years ago. And you just need one or two little places to plant and grow, and then it expands. And I love watching the growth that we've had in the last 4 years.
It's been amazing. You are definitely a leader in the community to make that happen. A lot of great things are happening in North Tonawanda. All the little pockets of North Tonawanda are just growing. Yep. And it's such an amazing thing to see. And it's a lot due to your work and your leadership. From starting a business and understanding that when you have a business, you have to grow the community too, and you have a heart for that. So we're so proud of you for just doing all of that. I love when I see business owners that are thriving with their business, but thriving in their community to make it happen. And that's what happens with you. But it's no surprise because of your background and everything that you do, especially with your love of small business and the love of what you do. Tell us a little bit more about some of the great projects that you have had in the community, and then we'll go into more of the nitty-gritty of your business. You have also designed some things for the the Junior League of Buffalo. Yes. So let's not only are you leading your community, but you're involved in other nonprofits, especially with your business. They go hand in hand. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I have found myself in some really amazing positions. I am also on the Junior League as well as having designed for the Junior League, and it just worked out perfectly that way. In fact, that room is one of my all-time favorites because I didn't have a client that I had to design for. I got to design it exactly how I wanted it, which is why it looked very swamp witchy, and I actually won a national award for the design in there. It's been a great experience to be able to see sort of both sides of the coin. That money got filtered back into the community for another nonprofit company that is going to help serve the community. So to be able to have donated my experience as a designer, and then also because you also have to volunteer as a junior leaguer, that's been amazing to see both sides of that. But some of the cool things that I got to do was recently I was in the Buffalo Spree magazine, and they did an article on one of the Junior League show houses that I redid. So I got to do this beautiful home in North Buffalo near Delaware Park, and it was a former Junior League house in the 80s, and I walked in and saw it, and I said, oh yeah, this has to go now. So I actually ripped out a kitchen from the 80s that was an original Junior League house, and we redid it, and they featured the article, and it was really cool to have not only done a Junior League house, but then redo a Junior League house. So it's sort of come full circle for me to be able to do that.
How fun to be able to take a space and just do what you want with it, right?
Yes.
Just to say, okay, this is my space now. This is what I would love to do, and to showcase, your style.
Yes.
How exciting.
Yes.
When you're dealing with a client, though, you're dealing with what they want in their scope and in their budget. So there's some constraints there. So tell us about your ideal client and who you work with and how you work with them. Tell us about that process.
So my favorite clients to work with are ones that need some guidance and really are looking to me to help direct them in how they're going to live best in this space. I don't really have a budget in mind when it comes to that, just somebody that's willing to sort of bend a little bit. I find that it's a little bit harder to be able to be creative in the process when I have a whole list of, I have to have this, and this. Right. And of course, we're going to give you all of that. This is your home. I want you to love it. At the end of the day, I walk away when the job is done and you're left remaining in the space. And I hope you find yourself loving it for years and years to come. But one of the coolest jobs that I got to do that also just I won a national award for. My clients moved here from Southern California, and they bought the house sight unseen and really didn't know what they had gotten into until we did the first walkthrough, which was in the middle of COVID. And we were overwhelmed because it was 4,200 square feet, and we touched all 4,200 square feet at one time. They actually moved here and rented for 6 months while we were doing the whole entire house. And they have since got a job opportunity to go back home, and the house is up for sale. So if you're interested in seeing the project, it is 200 Deer Run in Amherst, New York. And it really, what we did is they said, here's a little bit of the parameters that we want. we want you to create the space. And doing that allowed me to really, really take this house from kind of down here and bring it up. And it was East Coast meets West Coast because they wanted to do everything white on white.
Yeah.
Buffalo doesn't allow that. So it was a really cool project to be able to work on. So my ideal client really sort of allows me to have the creative freedom to make a beautiful space that they weren't necessarily picturing in their head.
Yeah, so I had asked before about your business mission or your purpose, and exactly what you said, to simplify a difficult and stressful process for clients and work in harmony to create spaces that homeowners live best in and love. And you just described that.
Yes.
You have to live in your space every single day. So why not take it and, really, really create a space that feels like home, feels like somewhere you want to be at every day,
Yes.
and feel like something that is a part of your personality and you. And for me, I'm looking forward to that day that I can hire you. I have to wait until all 4 kids get out of my house. I have a 1960s kitchen that is nothing's been done to it. So when I met Lauren, I did say, Lauren, I can't wait. At some point in my life, I'm hiring you for my, my swampy kitchen. I can't wait. But it's not in my wheelhouse yet, but I'm looking forward to that day when that happens. When a client, when you meet with a client, do you meet with them in their house? Do you bring them to your location? What's the process, the first step in that?
So usually what people do is they'll find me through Instagram, Facebook, or a lot of it is referral-based, and we'll have a short 15-minute conversation to sort of get your ticker list of how you want the project management expectations to go. And if you find that I'm a fit, I will come out to your house and then we'll go into the space. I have to take all the dimensions so that I can put it into my CAD program so I can draw it out for you. And then we'll do a little bit of back and forth via email to make sure that the layout is perfect and we've nailed it. And then you come into the showroom and then you'll be able to pick out all the kitchen accoutrements, which is the coolest part when you get to come in and pick out your materials.
Does that become overwhelming for a client, or how do you make that so it's not overwhelming? I can just imagine myself going in and be like, I want it all. Give me it all. How do you make that process a little more streamlined?
18 years of experience, and I really listen to what they're looking for. And so a lot of times I will ask people sort of to send me at least a picture or two of an inspiration kitchen so that I have something to kind of go from. I'm not going to show you an all black kitchen if you're dreaming of all white. Mm-hmm. But I do like to pull my clients out of their comfort zone a little bit, because for the last 15 years we've been doing white on white kitchens, and we need to incorporate some color back in, and whether it's a backsplash or wallpaper or whatever we do to incorporate it, I like to be able to put some pieces in there that is also signature me. So I will offer them, like, here, let's put 3 colors. Okay, you don't like this one? And then we'll kind of simplify it down to 2. And then it's much easier when you're just picking, either a darker or a lighter, or an island in a blonde or something like that. So
Sure. So you help guide the customer along, because I could see where a customer maybe, has inspiration from a photo, but not quite sure where you can take it.
Yes.
And you help make that process
we'll pull
happen.
elements out of it.
So what is your favorite part of that process?
Watching them really fall in love with the selections that we've made. And a lot of times we will do a couple things where, like, I wasn't even thinking of this, and this makes me a little uncomfortable, but then when they see it in the space, like, oh my gosh, I really love how it all pulled together. Because again, you'll see a lot of stuff on HGTV, and a lot of times those people don't have clients, so they'll do really bold things and not necessarily something most homeowners want in their house. So we'll take something, maybe the cabinets are a little quiet, but we'll kick it up a little bit with your backsplash or something like that.
So that's where the details kind of come into effect.
Correct.
Right? So where would details come into the picture that you might not think of it? Is it handles? Is it paint colors? What is really the, that little thing that kind of makes it a little bit different or special?
So what you have to do is get a really good foundation. Once you know what the flooring, so the big 3, flooring, cabinets, counter. Mm-hmm. Once you sort of have that picked out, then you can individually make it your space. And that is through paint color, that is through wallpaper, that is through tile. And I call those sort of the jewels of the kitchen. So, you can do a really awesome piece of hardware that maybe nobody else has. The countertop or the backsplash is something else you could do, and then lighting fixtures. Those are the 3 things. It's like if everybody showed up to the Oscars and wore just a black dress, how do you make it look different?
Right.
It's the earrings, it's the necklace, it's the jewelry, and that's really how you do it in your kitchen too.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yes.
That is an excellent way to, think about the details and the details count.
Yes.
The details make the difference, and I can't wait for my dream kitchen.
I can't wait to do it.
It's just every day I wake up, I'm like, oh man, these yellow tiles have to go. It's yellow, pale yellow tiles. Every once in a while there's a tile with like a minty green design in it with a white thing. It's very 60s. And then I have the pine cabinets too from the 60s.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
But it works with my family of 6. So it definitely is time. When your studio opened, how long ago did you actually open your office? I call it a studio, but it's more of your office and showroom. So
Yes.
when did that open?
Monarch is 5.5 years old, but the showroom didn't come to me probably about 3.5 years ago. So the space is a constant work in progress. Every time you come in, there will be something new that's been done, whether it's a new display or we've wallpapered something or, a new flooring has gone in. Yeah.
So when they come into your your showcase of what you have, what can they expect when they walk through the door? I've been there and it's phenomenal. There's so many different options to choose from. But give us a little lay of the land when they walk in to your showroom.
So when you walk in, you'll be able to see a couple different displays, and inside each of the displays, you'll be able to open up drawers, and you'll see here's the garbage can cabinet. This is how it functions. Here's the Lazy Susan. So you'll be able to make informed decisions about what you want to see inside of your cabinets. Maybe you don't like spice racks. Maybe you do, but you'll be able to open it and make an instant decision, I want this or not. And then you'll be able to look at all the door styles, all the different colors. I have rows and rows and rows of different kind of granites and quartz and in porcelain. I have a whole room dedicated to tile and hardware and wallpaper, and so you'll be able to pick out everything, and we'll be able to lay it out, and you'll get a vision board in the space of what your room is going to look like.
Oh, that's exciting. I can't wait to get to that point where I get to go do all of those things and really think about where I want items. And I love that you have that hands-on opportunity for people to come in once they've gotten through a certain process with you to really see, touch, look at everything and think if that's going to work in their space. I think that's such a unique concept for you as a small business owner to be able to have that, because sometimes you hire somebody and you're not quite sure what it's really going to look like. And, this gives a great opportunity without having to go to one of those big box stores. You have it there with you.
We wanted to create a boutique experience where it felt very much like you're our only client and
Yes.
focusing only on your job and not necessarily numbers. And that's why the clients really love the experience with us, because we're a little mom and pop shop and we really just focus on you and what you want.
And your space, I have to say, I think the last time I was there, you were about to buy a forklift.
Yes.
You have a forklift?
I bought a
now?
forklift, yes. I own a forklift, and I'm the one that drives it.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
In the back is, I got the back tour of the back room where all the supplies and things are. And it was such a great space because you really are one-stop shop. You have, the display room up front, the showroom, and then you open the door and there's where the work gets done. And I love somebody who drives a forklift
Yes.
as well.
Yep.
Love it.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about how you go on these speaking tours and you're able to be guests on these amazing stages and these amazing places that highlight the work that you do. How do you get to have that honor? I know all of your experiences there. How does somebody find Lauren to say, I want you to come and speak, at our conference or at our, our special event? Tell us how that happens.
For a lack of some sort of secret, really just got quite lucky. I found myself aligned with some people in the industry that were higher up that we just had really great conversations, and I didn't know that they were going to be able to offer me some of these really amazing opportunities, and then just continued to meet amazing people and got another opportunity. Like this year so far, I've spoken in Dallas, I've spoken in New York City. I got to speak last year at the K-Biz in Las Vegas. I will be going to Chicago Design next week, and then I will be in High Point in the fall. I wish there was a magic formula that I had, other than I think people really do connect with sort of being a little different. Swamp Wish makes people laugh every single time because they want to know more about it. It's, a lot of people like to do bougie and they like to do glamour, and there's lots of pinks and whites, and I'm like, black.
Yes.
And lots of black and gold. My signature is black and gold and moody, and I think we're starting to see a shift back into saturations of colors. Whether it's black or whether it's navy or something, you're starting to see colors come back, and I think people sort of appreciate the uniqueness that I've lovingly called myself. So
yeah, you never know where a door is going to open for you. And
Yes.
I love that you took that opportunity and found some mentors or some other people in your industry that you could have those conversations with, and look where the doors lead to you. Of course, it's from your experience
Yes.
and everything that you have done. It's all a combination, but I love that you are a jet setter. You're, 5 tours, I call them tours,
Yeah.
right? 5
Yes.
tours, 5
Yep.
speaking tours,
Yes.
5 engagements where you are highlighted to share about what you love to do. I mean, that is my dream job, to be able to just share and talk about what fuels you and what you do. And people source you out because of, your uniqueness and what you just, this is what I do. And if you can take it or leave it, but people are taking it,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
How is it going on to speak on a stage like that? How do you prepare for that? Are questions funneled to you, or do you come with a speech ready? How do you prepare for something like that?
Sometimes you get questions ahead of time, and that's very helpful. Sometimes you don't. And really, when you speak about something that you love, you don't really have to have too many
That's
answers
true.
ready to go. Because I could talk about design all day long. I don't want to bore people with it, but it really just sort of comes from the heart. So it's easy to speak about.
Yeah. Where do you see your business in 5 years?
I wanted to create a woman-owned business that has some really amazing woman designers that have families that can find themselves a place that they can be a mom and they also can be a designer, and you don't have to pick one or the other. I would love to have maybe 5 or 6 on staff and be able to just kind of travel and learn all these. Every time you go somewhere, you pick something up. When I'm in the South, the style is very different than it is up North, and California is totally different than the East Coast. And so being able to travel allows me to incorporate some interesting elements into my design as well. So I would love to see myself as a company that women want to work for, and clients continue to seek me out.
Oh, I love that. I need to go back to school for design then, and that would be my dream job. That is such a amazing goal in 5 years. I can't wait to see that happen for you. It's an exciting opportunity for any person to be able to work alongside you, but especially with you having, that in your heart that you'd like to create an opportunity for other women to succeed.
Yes.
And, exceed in life and with their family and work too. It can be done.
Yes.
It can be done.
Yes.
Tell us what you do for fun.
It feels like I'm always at a meeting or something, but when I'm not busy, I do love to travel. And I love to garden and sort of just hang out at my house with my husband and my dogs and be a homebody.
Yeah, what
Nothing
better
that
way?
interesting.
I didn't do anything all weekend as well. I was a homebody all weekend, and I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
It was amazing. Yep. When it's a nice weekend down, and you created a nice space at your house, and you're with the people that you love. What better than just being home, right?
That's the best part of this job, is being able to create spaces people love being in. Because when you're sick or when you're away, where do you want to be? You want to be home. So I love that I'm able to make a space that people create memories in. I might not be, tackling the world's problems, but I can at least make it so that you're happy in your home.
Definitely. How can somebody find you? You mentioned some social media, also your website. What is the way most people find you besides the referrals? Referrals are huge in this type of business, which I love that people will refer. But how else do people find you?
You can reach out to me on my website. You can schedule an appointment on the website. And sometimes I will have people message me on Instagram or Facebook, but the easiest way is probably the website.
Mm-hmm. So we have that on the screen if you're following along on our YouTube channel, monarchkitchendesignstudio.com. And Lauren, I'm so happy that you were here to join us today. I can't wait until we come and showcase your business for Small Business Day. We'll set that up soon to get that going. But this has given us a really nice inside glimpse into your business and into you, more importantly. And that's the heart of your business, is you. Really would not exist without Lauren and the way that she loves Swamp Witch Chic, which just is such a conversation starter. I can see why people are intrigued with it. It's definitely something that I love. Thank you, Lauren, so much for joining us
Thank you
today.
for having
I'm so
me.
happy to have you. And Lauren's business is a member of our chamber. Again, it's Monarch Kitchen Design Studio, and you can find the information on social media or her website. She's a member of our Chamber of Commerce, and we hope that you check out the website, check out Lauren and all that she is. If you are looking to have something redesigned, that's your first step, is to reach out. Lauren will sit with you and figure out the best approach to having that place that you love. Can't wait for that to happen with me. We also have a guest next week, so we're back on our schedule, our regular schedule with our podcasting. Full disclosure, most likely the Monday after the Harvest Festival, we probably will skip. Rich, I'm letting you know that now. But we have a full schedule through the end of the year, so we're so happy about that. If you are looking to become a guest on our podcast, just let us know. And as always, please share this podcast with friends and family and anybody else, co-workers and customers, because this is the way we enable others to let people know about small businesses in our region. As always, thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, that was wonderful.